Hi, this is Dr. Chandler here at Catchflow Coaching. You might have watched my last video, kind of the state of the union post-COVID-19 as to what I feel is going on. In this video, I would like to address a little bit about what your patients may be going through, right? I mean, your patients, with everything going on, have many different situations between their own job losses, their kids, they're having to teach from home, and if they have some sort of job, they're still having to manage that, whether it means traveling, restricted traveling, dressing up differently to protect themselves, or working online and trying to navigate probably something they've never done much of before in terms of getting that worked out. Now, some people in some states are starting to go back to work. Things are looking up. Things are looking better. There's a light to it, which is awesome. Some aren't. Some won't for another month, right? It's all over the board. But either way, there is a massive uncertainty. And then the backside of this that comes along with their fear, which the fear coming in, which you have to alleviate, is how clean is your office? More importantly, it's show and tell me. Show and sell me. Can you prove to me that it's cleaner than it's ever been in all the other times I've ever been here? Can you show me all the cool stuff you've done and prove it to me? It's important now that you do that, even if it's just as clean as it's ever been, but it's more for show now, right? Because they need to see it to alleviate the fear. Your whole thing is a mind game now. Now it's all about their mind and lifting them up mentally if you want your customer, client, or patient to come back. Two is, of course, cash flow. Even with stimulus checks and helps for their small business, there is no doubt their cash flow has been impacted. Now, there might be a few who were unemployed or maybe even making more money now because they got unemployment checks, which means some people are making more than what they were, assuming they were lawfully unemployed. So that's a whole different ball game. But in general, people are concerned about the cash flow. And certainly, it's being affected, right? You know, we're talking about meat shortages and all this other stuff coming out, but really it's a cash flow shortage. A real legitimate buying power cash. While we can always make monopoly money as the United States, how much money and buying power does it really have? For instance, did you know that if you buy gold and silver from a mint, that they will sell 13 options for the gold and or silver, and only one person gets the option, even though you're all paying the same price as a hedge. So they make a lot more money, but they really only have one piece of gold or silver to actually back whatever you bought, that one piece. So 13 times. Pretty scary. So if there was ever a run on this, you get the idea. Your cash for 12 of the 13 of you would be absolutely useless. So in a roundabout way, without them knowing it, they know their cash flow is greatly impacted, and it will come around. We may not see it until later in the summer and early fall. But that will certainly affect your business, especially when you see high volume type businesses, doctors, dentists, chiropractors, orthopedists, orthodontists. You know, you're seeing a lot of different families. It's not one or two or three businesses where your income is derived. It's from multiple families. And these are some things you're going to be looking at. And of course, another one just for you guys is some of you are still closed or you're coming out of the closed and you're dealing with one, getting back in shape of seeing patients. There is a getting in shape part into it, so hopefully you've stayed in great shape. But even if you have, just the different moves of a dentist or an orthodontist or a chiropractor, certainly you can get out of shape from that. And now all of a sudden you got to go back to, seeing good numbers. So that's one. Your staff too. You know, they're back at work, and while you've been paying them the whole time, they're still thinking of Johnny at home and his school lessons and who's helping him. What if they're divorced? You see, there's all these different things going on in their minds. More than ever, you're going to have to run those staff meetings, those huddles, those intermediate meetings, 3 times a week kind of thing, to lift up their spirits and their mind. Or you're going to be open, but you're going to be a shell of your former self. So these are the things that I think are important. And what we're going to do in future videos, between the things to do as you opening up relaunch from being closed, the fear of your consumer / patient, and the fact there's decreased cash flow that's going to be coming in, there's going to be videos to address every one of these points, specific trainings to address every one of these points that I'll be sending out to you in in the coming days. So I want you to be looking for them, paying attention for them. Give me your feedback, give me your thoughts, and what you're thinking at the time. But the goal is to pivot. We all need a pivot plan. The goal is give me a really good, safe life raft right now. I don't need the Ferrari, or I don't need the large barn with 4 horses in it, or whatever the dream was. Now it's about sustain and keep what you have, and hope that that your fears are alleviated, and that you got everything you need to have, and that you're not going backwards in the red, that you can get back into black before we think about, oh, the cool vacation, and maybe I'll get to retire someday, and all that sort of stuff, right? So it's first things first, and that's what we're here to address, is being sure we have a pivot plan in place for your business, but also for your clients that are coming into your practice, or patients, right? Okay, it's Dr. Chandler George. If you have any questions, depending on where you're seeing this, be sure to either comment, share a comment, private message me, or shoot me back an email, depending on how you're getting this. If you have any questions, by all means, you can call me. I have it set up directly to my cell. We can set up a time to chat, or you can reach out to me in the other direction, and we can see if there's anything particular we need to be discussing to help you. Look forward to helping you. We'll talk on the next video. Chandler George, Cashflow Coaching.